it's Tess from Sharing Kindness, and this is our third episode of this podcast. I am here today with Kyle, the co-host.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show.
And today we've got something very exciting to share with you guys.
Woohoo!
We've been working on it for so long, many sleepless nights, big bags under my eyes, and I'm feeling very, very excited though. What about you?
Oh, I'm so excited, Tess. Honestly, we've been working so hard to get this new big announcement ready to go, and I'm just excited to finally put it out there to the world.
I know. Do we have some drum rolls? So,
Oh yeah.
put a
Let me
little
get my
sound?
drums out.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
We are introducing the Sharing Kindness game. We have essentially found a way to practice gratitude, practice deepening our relationships through families, sharing kindness through a game.
Amazing.
Which is going to be so fun and engaging, and oh my god.
It's so exciting, Tess. We've had a lot of conversations about this. You've done such a great job with the advent calendars and the box of confidence affirmation cards to be able to add a new product to the Sharing Kindness collection, one that can be shared with other people. The affirmation cards are very much like something that you would do yourself or with your child. And it's like a practice that you need to get into. And it's great. And I think very important. But the game allows us to play it at school. You could play it when you're doing kind of like a play date with other kids. You could play it at Christmas, at Easter. It's one of those things that you can teach people gratitude in a fun and engaging way, which is such a cool way to bring it all together, isn't it?
I know. And I think that's the thing. It's like we need more fun. I keep saying it, but like when the kids become the creators of their own gratitude and their own kind of way that they would show kindness, etc., it just makes it part of their belief system in a whole different way. And I think one massive pain point that this game is solving as well, at least for me, and I'm sure if you're like any other parent out there, I get into the car, for an example, after school, and I have these underlying kind of fears that they will go through things in school and someone will be mean to them, or in some way, shape, way, or form, they will experience some negative situations and that they're not going to tell me. And I'm so scared. It's like one of the biggest things. That's also one of the really, really pain points that I'm trying to solve with this game, because having question cards is a card game, essentially. The Sharing Kindness game is a card game, and it has 3 levels with different questions. And this is where you'll be able to take it anywhere you go. But if we jump into a car and I go, honey, how was your day? Good. Did anything happen? No. There's that, I don't know. And I'm going, oh my God, could you say something else? But I don't know. No, yes.
Yep.
And that's one of the bigger pain points, because these cards with these questions are honestly going to open up doors to conversations on things that we most often perhaps wouldn't talk about.
So cool, Tess. And I think that you've summed it up really well. Like, I've played a lot of intimacy games, like card games, where it's kind of asking questions to get to know your partner better, or, family members, and all kind of aimed towards the adult market. And there's such a gap for younger children and younger families to be able to connect better, because there are going to be points where you summed it up really well in episode 1, actually, of the podcast, where you're talking about how you can't control what the world is going to say to your kids, right? So you can't control what's going to happen in the future, but you can give them a better self-talk, and you can help control how they deal with that, become more resilient, and kind of look for the positives in their world. And I think that by making a game that makes it fun and engaging to talk about your feelings, connect, share bits of kindness with each other, things that you're grateful for in your life, moments that have happened recently that you're happy about, things that you're thankful for, or even things that you're struggling with. Those questions are really, they're hard to get out of your kids. They're hard to get out of people.
And this is it. Yeah. And this is it. And then it becomes, and my daughter, my oldest daughter, she even at times goes, Mom, you're using that strange voice again. And I'm going, oh my God, like I am, because I am so consciously aware that I want to ask these really important questions, but they just cringe. It's coming from a really good place, but it's just not a natural kind. I mean, it's natural to ask questions, but it's just, oh my God, it's cringeworthy. And then you just,
Totally.
and I'm 100% sure that I am not alone on this one, because
100%. Yeah.
it's, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
fact. Like
Yeah.
it's, and you know, as parents, we're all worried. It's the biggest. I did a survey, oh, not so long ago. Well, a little, yeah, a few months ago, and I asked my audience, what is their biggest struggle when it comes to teaching your kids kindness?
Okay.
And majority of all those people were saying, I'm so scared of them not knowing how to navigate the meanness of the world.
Yeah.
And I think this is it. But without conversations about it, we
Mm,
can't guide our children, or we
so
can't
true.
give them the tools, because it just becomes a silent kind of thought process. And then that just turns inwards, and the
Definitely.
spiral just keeps spiraling.
Oh, 100%. And I think going back to what you were saying before about like your daughter kind of asking those questions, it being a bit awkward. I think the great thing about this game in the tests that we've done is that you're opening up first. So you, by being vulnerable, are showing by example that it is
Yeah.
okay to open up. It's like mom has issues that she's dealing with too. Like I'm struggling with
Me.
certain things. There's somebody that's might be mean to me at work, or one of the other moms at
Yeah.
school, like whatever it is, could be kind of causing the same type of emotional response that your daughter's going through with a kid at school, right? Like you're able to relate and lead by example by answering these questions, being vulnerable and deepening your connection to show it's okay to open up. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay not to
Yes.
feel 100% positive all the time. It's about building your resilience. It's about looking for things in your life that you're grateful for and making sure that you're making that a regular practice. And I think making it a game, awesome.
Yes. It
Everybody
couldn't
gets
be better. Yeah,
good.
exactly. And I think that's where the icebreaker is going to become a little bit easier and not so awkward. And I mean, we have proven it. We've tested it so many times, and we've had psychologists and social workers and early childhood workers be involved in the project. So it's just seriously so exciting. And I think getting back to is this setup of the game. It, like I said before, it's question cards. There's 3 levels, and the 3 levels are set up in the first one being sharing. The cards are known as sharing, and it's sharing stories, and sharing stories on gratitude
Mm.
and what we think of each other, like impressions of each other,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's,
And like you're saying, so there's 3 levels. Do you want to maybe elaborate
yeah.
a little bit more on the 3 levels and
Yeah.
how those questions work?
Yep. So there's 3 levels, and the first level is known as sharing cards.
Hmm.
And the sharing cards are the cards where we share stories. And my view on it is like that perhaps as parents, we lead the way, we show the way, and naturally they will follow. And this is where we share stories on gratitude, and where we really just dig deeper on what lights us up, or what makes us excited, or what doesn't make us so excited. And just a really fun way of introducing and light. And it's like icebreakers. It's not, so the first level is very light and fun and uplifting, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, it's like
And
you're able to answer questions that maybe your children wouldn't answer, just picking them up from school. You're kind of like, how's your day? What's really going on? How are your friends? Like asking more about situations in their lives in a fun way, which I thought was really cool. Like the sharing level is all
exactly.
about sharing things that are going on in your life, good or bad, right? And just
Yeah.
being able to acknowledge that and share it with the group.
Yeah, with each other, exactly. Yeah. And then there's the second level of the cards, and the second level is known as connection cards. And this is where we dig a little bit deeper compared to level one, where we're really talking about things that have made us feel sad, or something that's
Mm.
also made us feel good, but more on a connection. Or was there something that I could have done better for you, or is there something that you wish that I do more often? And just digging that kind of one step little deeper
Yeah.
into what we mean for each other.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's oftentimes you don't say thank you, or you don't acknowledge like what can I do better
No.
for you in your life? How can I support you better, or how can I be a better mom or a better partner or a better sibling? Those questions, like imagine getting asked that. You're
Yeah.
getting like actual feedback that you don't really get in life. You don't really ask your significant other or your kids like, how can I do better for you? Like, can you fill out this survey? It doesn't work. So
Yeah.
I think making that a game is such a
Mm.
unique way of doing that, because you've got to get
Impactful, yeah, and impactful, yeah, and this is it,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is so impactful, and it's almost revolutionizing. Like it, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
just
Yeah.
unbelievably good. And I think this whole getting back to the gratitude and how we allow our brains to practice focusing on the positives
Mm.
rather than the negatives. And when we're feeling grateful, like our brains release dopamine. And when the dopamine in our brains makes us want to feel it again.
Yeah.
And that's what then so brilliantly makes gratitude and a positive outlook on life into a habit
Mm.
and a default position kind of thing. And this
Nice.
is where, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And I think kids love to play, and we kind of make gratitude a chore. So you need to bring the fun back into it. You need to make it actually something that people want to do. And if you can kickstart that process by creating an engaging game where it's like you want to ask these questions. It might be on a road trip, right? Like how do you get your kids to get off their iPads or to actually kind of not annoy the hell out of you on a 3 hour road trip? Well, you play games and you talk to each other and
Are
you
we there
sing songs.
yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah. Oh my
Are
God.
we
Yeah.
there
Are we
yet?
there yet? Are we
Like,
there yet?
we
It's
just
like,
left.
how about we play a
How
game,
long
kids?
is it?
So I think it's really, these are the types of moments in the family that we're trying to bridge that gap where it doesn't have to be like, let's sit down and go through a box of confidence where we're going
Yeah.
through this. Like you can do that as a regular practice ongoing, but how do you initiate that? How do you get people started on this journey so that they go, I want to play this. Can we play this tonight? And you're like, okay. Or you could take the box of confidence and you could kind of ask some questions for yourself. It's
Okay.
teaching that
Yeah.
teaching that
Yeah.
habit in a way that is playful. And I think that's really cool. So
Mm.
sorry to go on a side tangent there, Tess. So you were talking about
No,
level
no,
two.
no, but that's exactly. So yes, so we've got the first level of the cards known as sharing cards, where we share stories on what's going on in our lives right now and then, focusing on gratitude and shifting that mindset towards the positive versus the negative.
Mhm.
Then we've got the second level, which is known as the connection cards, where we focus more deeply on the connections through family, friends, whatever it might be, where we just get to know how we can be better for ourselves, or what just is going on a more deeper emotional level. And then we've got the third level, which is the cards that are known as the kindness cards. And this is where we take what we have learned through level 1 and level 2, and we kind of just combine it all and learn to focus through self-reflective questions too, on how we can share this with the world and every one of us.
Awesome.
Yeah, so just connect so well. Like it's like there's the icebreakers and it's just lovely and it gets that fluffy gratitude feeling. Then we connect and then we talk about how we can kind of be better for each other. And then it's just a matter of how can we adopt this to spread the words of gratitude to everyone around us.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, what is one act of kindness that I can do today? Is there someone in my life that I want to say thank you to? It's kind of a bit more action focused, isn't it? It's kind of like, how can you share more kindness in your day-to-day life, and who are some people that could really use some love, So I think that's a really powerful level, because it is all putting into action the lessons you've learned and putting that out there into the world, talking to your grandparents or saying thank you to a friend at school or a teacher that's been really instrumental in some way. So it's a great way to kind of go, all right, now let's put this all into motion. Let's think about how we can be more kind in our day-to-day lives, which I think is great. It's a really great way to bring it home.
It is. And it's like, maybe they could thank me for all my unpaid services, cooking dinner all the time, cleaning their room.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's all just from
that's
a
some
selfish
high-value work.
reason
It really
I'm
is.
doing this whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Please say thank you to me.
I just want to hear a thank you, please. Yeah, no, totally.
Yes.
But I think that, again, like love languages, right? Words of affirmation are super important. And for a lot of people, just a simple thank you can go a long way. And it's how often do we forget to thank people for the things that they're doing for you in their life? It's just, we get into these patterns and you kind of just get into a rut where you just not take people for granted, but you don't necessarily thank them for all of the wonderful things they're doing for you, because it just becomes this thing that they do for you, right? So this game is really about acknowledging those things in your life where it's like, wow, I'm so lucky to have a mom who does all these wonderful things for me and cooks me all these delicious meals and helps tidy up and when I'm busy and gets me to school and picks me up and shows me all this love. Like those are things that you want to make sure your kids are grateful for, and vice versa. Like, how much
Mm,
joy do your kids bring you in your
absolutely.
life, right? You want to be able to tell them that, because even if you're the mom of the year, I'm sure that you can always show more love. Like, kids will soak that stuff up as much as you give it. So it's a great way to bring it
Yeah.
all home.
And even on that note with the love languages, it's also important that we learn what love language the other person speaks,
Yeah.
because we have to also adjust our way of showing love to what love language that they like to receive things. Like, I mean, my husband and we have that all the time. I'm definitely words of affirmation, and he's physical touch. So
Mhm.
it's like, for him, it's all I need to do is just give him a hug or something, and he
Yeah.
feels like I've
Yeah.
apologized. But
Yeah.
if he just comes up and gives me a hug, I kind of feel, well, you're gonna have to, say the words,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
tell me that
Yep.
you're sorry.
Yep. 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 And it's funny that the love languages that
Because
you want is what you often give. So you're kind of like, why isn't she picking up? I gave her a hug. Like, oh my God, what more does she want? Well, I want to hear you say the words, man.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is it, and this is where we've got to, unless we ask the questions and start understanding how we like to
Yeah.
have love shown. Without that, we're not going to be able to better ourselves and show love in different
It's
ways.
amazing. Yeah. And I think this is why we're launching the game, right, Tess? It's like, how do
Yeah.
we try to get sharing kindness into as many households as we possibly can? I can
Mm.
see, just me being me, I can see us getting the game to 1 million kids by 2030. Like, that could be something that I definitely see happening. And I think that the reason we
That's a
can,
goal.
right? Yeah, it's a good goal. And the reason I'm saying
1
that,
million. Okay,
1
let me
million.
just say that one more time. 1 million kids by 2030.
Amazing. And I think that that really is like a
That's the
goal,
goal.
that you have so many different amazing products that are proven to help give kids better resilience in life, to help them see the world in a more
Mm.
positive way, and deepen connections with their loved ones. Amazing. So the game is probably the way that we can get this out there the fastest, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much potential to
Yeah,
expand on
I
this
know.
as well.
Mm.
This is only the first version. Like, this can be the core pack of Sharing Kindness, the game.
Yeah.
And we've talked about adding
Yeah.
extension packs for how to deal with
Oh,
loss
100%.
in your life,
Mm.
right? You're like, how many
Mm.
families will have a
Mm.
pet that passes away, or even maybe more traumatic, like grandparents or a parent? Like, any of
Mm.
those moments would be heartbreaking and so traumatic for your children. And being able to give them the tools to be able to talk about that
Yeah.
and be able to open up and
Mm.
realize that you're all grieving, you're all feeling that hurt and that pain. And that's what can bring you together in those moments, rather than isolating and feeling
100%.
angry and alone. And
Lonely. Yeah,
yeah,
and lonely and resentment, and and it just becomes this whole spiral. And when we're grateful, it's pretty much almost impossible to dwell on jealousy or resentment, or it really does, because it
yeah.
just,
Or
it shifts
fear,
the
right?
brain.
Like, fear is often the
Yeah.
biggest emotional dissonance that we'll have from
Mm.
feeling grateful. And fear can manifest in so many different ways. Like, if you lose someone, you're fearful that you're going to lose again. You're going to lose, if you've lost a
Mm.
pet, it really implants that fear of like, oh my God, what if something happened to my mom? What if something
What if
happened to
that?
my dad?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
if something happened to anyone else? And that fear can really drive you to some dark places. So I think being able to open up and talk about that
definitely.
with the people in your life that you love, in a format that's safe and playful. It's not like you're going to therapy, which, not to bag therapy.
Mm.
Therapy is really
No,
important.
yeah,
But if you can make that a game that kids want to play, and they see the value in it because
and
you're
this
opening
is
up
it.
as well, oh, that just has such a big impact.
Yeah, and I can even see this game being in every single therapist's possession, because even having this game as a therapist, as a children's therapist, I honestly think that they can benefit from having these questions being as icebreakers,
Yeah.
and having had their questions reviewed by psychologists as well. Like, I think it has endless potential.
Exactly, Tess. And we talked about this in episode 2, where we talked about the science behind sharing kindness. It
Mm.
really does it's shocking how much positive psychology has an impact on
Mm.
every life
Yeah,
metric, life satisfaction scores, your creativity, your productivity, your connections with people in your life, your relationships. It has
mm,
a huge advantage in all areas of your life to making you just a happier, better human. And the other thing that shocked me was that there's not much of this being taught in school, right? There's not much of this being taught
No,
to
no,
kids at all. And
no.
so that to me is like, well, who's bridging that gap? And this is where I'm hoping this game can come in. It's like, if the schools aren't going to
We
adopt it
are.
fast enough, we need to kind of
Yeah.
get out there and make sure that this game gets in front of as many people as we can, that we've got a good community of people who see the benefits it can make and that are passionate in making a difference. And I think that this is why we've gone down the Kickstarter route, right? Just to sum up the game. So essentially for the Sharing Kindness game, we're launching a physical card game, which we're launching on Kickstarter. And that's going to be launched in September. We're trying to get the community behind it. We're also launching an online version of the game that people who buy the physical game will get early access to. And the game we've been testing out, looking at a lot of different games that are out there for intimacy and deeper connections with people. And we're trying to base it on the positive psychology and gratitude practice to kind of make it fun, but also backed in science, right? To kind of say that this is something that if you do regularly, you're actually going to change your neuroplasticity to repathway your brain to see things differently, be more grateful, I guess, for things in your life. So it's exciting. We want to build a community. We want people to get excited. It's not about us. This is about how many can we get in front of a million kids, you know, like that. That I think is
and this is it. Yeah, exactly. And this is where we will need the community's help, because we, like, even with the questions, and this is what we're reaching out to everyone. And we're starting with the limited founders edition, which is the physical game. We'll also be launching an online version of the game, which is going to be so exciting. So each box set will come with the online access, which is lifetime access. And this is where we have proper endless opportunities to create any way, shape, way, or form questions in any type of focus, situational, you know, like you said before, like loss, or, you know, parents splitting up, or whatever the reason may be, or situational. We have endless opportunities, and this is where we need you guys to help us get our Kickstarter campaigns. And
awesome. So I think just to summarize, so we're launching a card game for sharing kindness. And this is focused on teaching positive psychology to kids and families to help them live a more resilient and happy and fulfilled life. We're also just doing the Founders Edition. I think we've talked about the Founders Edition. Only 1,000 of these will be made, right? And then we'll go on and launch further editions and expansion packs in the future. But that is kind of the first lot that we are getting our supporters and our founders.
And there's only going to be 1,000 of them. And this Founders Edition is going to be so special, because since I've started practicing gratitude, I've got so many little gimmicky kind of ways that I do my gratitude practice. And the box will come with all of those prompts, every single little, I'm not going to reveal it right now because you're going to have to go to the Kickstarter campaign and back us. But the box doesn't just come with cards. The box comes with a whole lot of other little beautiful things that just going to make you and your family connect deeper to the feeling of gratitude.
So exciting. Well, I think that this is such a monumental moment, Tess. And I think that getting this out there, we've got 30 days, right? Kickstarter is all about quick pledges and getting people involved.
Quick backing.
Get involved. So the reason we're doing this right now is we're trying our absolute best. We've got our suppliers ready to go. We've got the cards designed. We've got the packaging, everything ready to go. We're still finalizing some of the questions, but I think that's going to be a constant tweaking to get those, 100%. But it really is. We're trying to get these out for Christmas. So we're really making sure that we can get these out so that if you want to buy one, you can donate one as well, or you can give it away as a gift. So we're really trying to make sure that the Sharing Kindness game is all about sharing this game and making sure that we're getting this out there to as many children as we can.
Yeah, and it is. And even if you feel like this is something that you want to share with someone, or, just, share it, share the page, share the website, whatever comes your, the better. The more people we can share this with, the better. Like, it would absolutely mean the world to me. Like, we're in it together. We're in this together. And if you could please just share this Kickstarter campaign with 2 of your friends, it would mean the absolute world to us.
Totally. And I think on the Kickstarter as well, we've got so many different levels of support that you can have. If you do want to buy, the game for somebody else, we've got packs where you can get a better rate for buying 2 games. If you want to buy as well some of the other amazing Sharing Kindness products like the advent calendar right now would be perfect for Christmas. And I think that
Yeah,
it's a huge hit,
100%.
right? So it'd be a great thing to buy and share with your family along with the game during the holiday season, and making sure that you've got this along with something else that you can do every day with your kids. We've got packs with the advent calendar. We've got packs with the box of confidence as well. So all of the amazing sharing kindness products you can buy in a bundle, as well as supporting the game, which we're looking to launch. I think Kickstarter is great because everybody knows that we're testing something new here. We're kind of seeing, is there people who see the same vision that we have for this product, and can we get people behind it? And I think that we believe in it very much so, but it'd be really cool to see how this goes over the next 30 days. You got to take risks in life and you've got to try things. But if you believe in something and you can see the mission and the value it can provide to the community at large, you've got to go for it grab onto it with both hands, because that's what life's all about.
And this is it. And if we can impact the lives of children positively, I honestly think that this could be the most impactful game ever made.
Wow. It just makes me feel so good, Tess, because I think that this is something that I'm not trying to build a legacy or anything like that, but you want to know that you're doing good in the world, right? You want to know that, what did you do in your life? Well, I did something that helped make the next generation happier, healthier, more connected, and more in touch with themselves. And I couldn't think of anything else in my life that is as impactful as this project and this mission. That might discredit everything else in my life. I'm sorry if I've offended anyone, but I do think that I do think that this is incredibly impactful. And so I hope and I pray that people will join us on this journey, that we'll be able to build a tribe of people who are super excited and invigorated, just like we are, to get this game out there to as many people as possible. So that's it. That's it for me, I guess.
No, and this is it. Like,
awesome.
I'm a mum, 2 girls, and all I wish and hope for is that I'm not going to pass down all of my own self-limited beliefs to them. And that is pretty much the core reason why I do all this, because less rewiring and more gratitude.
Well, that's
in a fun and family-friendly way.
Awesome. I definitely agree. I know that it's so important for us to deal with our own trauma. We talked about this in previous episodes, but we all have levels of trauma that we're carrying with us from our childhood, from our parents, from their parents. It's passed down the generations. And I think the whole purpose in life is to try to self-regulate and improve those things that are self-sabotaging. Am I doing anything like that? And realizing that if you don't tackle this in your lifetime, you likely will pass it on to your kids. And if you're able to find ways where you can set your children up for a better framework of seeing the world, you're going to learn that at the same time. You're going to help each other grow. And I think that that's probably one of the most impactful things you can do as a parent, and realize that if you do that, you improve yourself, you are improving your children by default. And that's really powerful.
It starts with us. Yeah, it does. And it starts with taking that step towards wanting to do it. And I think that's where the game comes in, is like, all we can do is try. And it starts with just one decision, and that could be just the bestest decision that you ever made.
So true. Awesome, Tess. Well, I think that today's episode, the big announcement of the game, it's so exciting. And I am so eager to see this get out there into the community. I know that we haven't even touched on the 21-day gratitude challenge. We think this is something that we're basing off the Sean Acor TED Talk, the Harvard psychologist who did a lot of research on positive psychology, showed a lot of the benefits. We want to do a 21-day free gratitude challenge in the future. We'll talk about that in the next episode. So I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. Me too. Awesome. Thank you everyone for listening. Here's how you can support us. You can go to my website, sharingkindness.com. Please support our Kickstarter campaign, because it would honestly mean the world to us. And this is the only way that we can get more gratitude and more positive mindsets out to kids. But I hope you've really, really learned something today, and that you share our passion for spreading more positivity and gratitude in life and with our children and with families, and just, deepen our connections. So stay tuned for the next episode. We will be launching a 20-day gratitude challenge very soon. So stay tuned and keep listening. And please support our Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening, guys. Like Tess said, please do make sure to go to the Kickstarter website, check out the project that we're launching with the Sharing Kindness game. Thank you, Tess, for another awesome episode today. I'm so grateful to be here and help launch another amazing Sharing Kindness product.
Thank you for all the help.
Oh, I've done nothing. You got all the hard
Thank
work.
you. And thank you for but thank you everyone who just, and I think this is like, thank you everyone who shares the same values as me. I really want to say that because
Awesome.
thank you, because together we honestly, we can make a difference together.
Agreed.
It's
Agreed.
yeah.
I think
Together
many
we are
hands make light work,
stronger.
and the more people we can get into the
Yes.
Sharing Kindness family or tribe, the better. It means that we're going to make more of an impact on getting out there into the community. And there's nothing, I think, more important than that. Really, is
Rewarding.
trying to help our next generation become better humans.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Stay tuned. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you like what you heard, can you please subscribe to us or follow us on YouTube? It would honestly mean the absolute world to us. And if you would like to leave a comment or a review, please do so. If you would like to back our Kickstarter campaign, you can do so on Kickstarter. Type in Sharing Kindness and it will come up, or go to our website, sharingkindness.com. Stay tuned and thank you so much for all your support. We will see you in the next episode. Thank you.